Don't give up. Don't give up, because God is testing you.
Tough times with the family, tough times with the business, and business went under and Dad left at that point. We moved out to Pike Road, to Mama Hammond's and Papa Hammond's farmhouse, which was large enough for you and all of us.
12 rooms.
12 rooms, yeah, 12 rooms.
What happened, he borrowed $20,000 from this man, Mr. Dreyfus. No sign or anything. Mr. Dreyfus sold a lot of bud, but he was just a lone man. And when he died, his nephew took over and insisted he wanted his money right then. Well, $20,000 then was close to $100,000 now. So he couldn't pay it, so he threw him into bankruptcy. So we lost the house.
I was 13 years old when Dad left. Went away to school and got things right with God myself. And I was preaching probably one of my first little revivals in West Montgomery.
Yeah.
You were playing the piano. Tell us what you remember about that night in that little church, probably about the size of this one.
Yeah, Memorial Heights. But it was funny, Pete showed up from Mississippi, and he was a preacher boy too. He was there, and my mother and father were there too. And the back door opened and Bud came in. I don't know how all that happened, unless God was just orchestrating a reunion.
Dad walked in, and people just, there was a hush.
Yeah.
And because people knew our situation.
Yeah.
And I looked out there and saw Dad sitting in the back, and it scared me to death because my topic wasn't a good topic. It was out of James, sin, when it's finished, brings forth death.
Yes.
And I knew if I spoke on that Dad may just walk right out the back door.
Well, I remember the song I sang, "One of God's Children is Coming Home." You remember that song?
I've wandered far away from God, now I'm coming home.
Yeah.
The fields of sin too long I've trod.
Now I'm coming home. So, and Bud came forward and y'all grabbed him and took him to the back.
And he made a choice that night to come home, and everybody was excited. We started singing around the piano again. And a verse of scripture that's one of my favorite verses concerning this type of thing is the last verse in Malachi. Says, "And he will restore the hearts of the fathers to their children, and the hearts of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the land with a curse." What would have happened had he not come home? Now, how many grandchildren do you have?
I have 39 grandchildren.
39 grandchildren.
66 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great. He would have missed all of that.
He would have missed all of that, and the legacy would not have been the same.
And they were his joy.
And they were.
Yeah.
And the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren, they remember Dad, and it's a positive role model because he finished strong, even though he detoured along the way. He finished strong.
Well, that's what counts.
That's what counts.
The finish line. And the children just loved him.
They did.
All the children loved Bud.
They did. They did.
He was a unique character.
A unique. Mom, is there anything else that you would say to men who struggle from your perspective about home, about legacy?
Don't give up. Don't give up, because God is testing you. The devil is tempting you, but God allows that to test you. And the bottom line is to obey and finish strong. Keep the faith. Keep the faith.